DDR4 has been with us since 2014, so now it's a good time for an upgrade. Intel's Alder Lake chips ushered in that upgrade as the first generation of desktop CPU to support DDR5, markedly higher frequencies, excellent power management, and the promise of substantial gains in gaming and productivity alike. The best DDR5 RAM for gaming is still scarce and overpriced, but it offers a tantalizing taste of things to come. Hello guys, today's video we're taking a look at the 5 best DDR5 gaming RAM of 2022. And if you want more information, we also put the links in the description box down below. Thanks. Starting up our list with number 5, we've got the Kingston Fury Beast. All the DDR5 RAM picks we focused on so far came in kits of 32GB. You don't need as much to game properly and probably won't for years to come, so why not go with something smaller and cheaper? That's the idea behind Kingston's Fury Beast. It's a 16GB kit that's more expensive than comparable DDR4 options. Still, its cost equals half that of the others or less, putting things into perspective. Keep in mind that this is the base 4800 MHz model. Other Fury Beast modules are available in 400 MHz increments, culminating in a more powerful but considerably more expensive for 6000 MHz kit. There's no XMP profile to switch to, so you're running at the kit's stock settings. These are 4800 MHz at CL38 with a meager power draw of 1.1 volt. The die uses Micron we've already encountered in Corsair memory. Unlike the factory overclock competition, the Fury Beast does have overclocking headroom. It's possible to improve the frequency by 400 MHz to match the Dominator Platinum RGB without touching the timings. Think of it as an investment since higher tier kits will perform equally but can't replicate the lowest one's overclock uplift. The Fury Beast's style harkens back to days of old when there was no need for armor-like heat spreaders and diffusers, had no place on PC components. That's not to say it's unattractive or dull since a lot is going on for an RGB less with a 35mm high kit. The stamped aluminum is matte black with several even darker accents and a series of square cutouts on top. To conclude, if you're looking for stealthy memory that doesn't compromise on style, this is the best DDR5 RAM for gaming without breaking your wallet right now. Next up at number 4, we've got the G.Skill Trident Z5 RGB. The Trident Z5 brings with it everything you'd expect from a generational upgrade, new looks, better performance, but unfortunately, the hefty price tag. It's not just the best DDR5 RAM for gaming, it's the kit to get if you work and play equally hard. The Z5 sees another welcome leap in aesthetics. It takes Neo's design and transforms it into another mix of silver and black that looks even better than the original. The series' telltale fins are more subdued and best visible if examined from across the RGB diffuser. The DIMMs are 42mm tall, so interference with the majority of CPU cooling solutions isn't likely. You can get the Z5 either plain or with RGB. The latter currently isn't more expensive, so we suggest going with it if you're keen on vibrant lighting. The diffuser is milky and does an excellent job of melding individual LED into a continuous pleasant glow. As before, G.Skill offers the Trident Z lighting control program for advanced RGB tinkering. Other than that, you can always fall back on your motherboard brand of RGB synchronization utility. The previous high-end G.Skill kits used the acclaimed Samsung B die, and this one sticks to its DDR5 version. That allows the kit to go from 4800 MHz to 6000 MHz with CL40. DDR5 runs on lower voltages, so the 1.3 volt required to maintain the Z5's XMP profile is above average, so you will need to feed it 0.1 volt more when overclocking. However, the Z5 distinguishes itself by decisively beating the competition in metrics like memory latency, photo retouching, or 3D rendering. This should put a spring in your productive step, but it also means that our following 2 candidates are equally viable if you can find them at a better price. At number 3, we've got the XPG Lancer DDR5 RGB. Topping off our terrific new triumvirate of best DDR5 RAM for gaming is an excellent kit from XPG. The Lancer has what it takes to duke it out with our top 2 entries, and can even slightly surpass either if you're willing to go all out on overclocking. It has the trademark XPG charm, fits any build, and even costs a bit less than our foreigners. XPG also offers a 5200 MHz kit you can find for around $50 less. It's a great alternative if you're looking to invest the savings in something like a new GPU and don't mind the single-digit percentage point performance difference. XPG RAM is well known for its outlandish geometric designs. The Lancer doesn't disappoint in that regard since it's awash with deep diagonal cuts into its heat spreader and sharp angles everywhere. The diffuser placement is particularly interesting. Diffusers on other DIMMs usually occupy the top portion. Here, the spreader covers the top almost entirely towards the edges but leaves a triangular space in the middle for the diffuser to show off the RGB. The Lancer's LED glows softly, while the diffuser adds a great deal of dispersion. That leaves you with an atmospheric glow that can be just as effective as the brightest lights show. Alder Lake is ready for it, as syncing the RAM with other colorful components works on any major motherboard. The sticks are 40mm high, ideal for any air-based CPU cooler. Conversely, it's also possible to maintain 6000 MHz while tightening the timings to CL38. That will require an excellent supporting motherboard though. You're already paying an arm and a leg for the RAM as an early adopter, so the added expense isn't as much of a blow. Up next at number 2, we've got the Corsair Dominator Platinum DDR5. If raw power and pure performance are what you're after, then this Corsair kit is definitely something you'll want to take a good look at. Corsair Dominator brings you an upgrade to DDR5, future-proofing your PC, and it does so in style. With 32GB of dual-channel memory and an ultra-high frequency of 5600 MHz, there isn't much else you could ask for from a memory kit. The Corsair Dominator comes with custom Intel XMP 3.0 profiles and hits its 5600 MHz frequency when using XMP overclocking. In order to hit those numbers, you'll first have to enable XMP in your BIOS. Once you do, you could try to overclock this memory even further if you want to push it to the limit. The Corsair IQ software enables RGB lighting customization and synchronization, real-time performance information, and onboard voltage regulation for easier, more controlled overclocking. Keep in mind that Corsair is only optimized for Intel motherboards right now. This is because AMD is yet to release processors that support DDR5 memory. However, for those lucky Intel Alder Lake owners, it offers fantastic performance, built-in cooling solutions, and beautiful customizable RGB that turns your rig into a work of art. Until recently, getting your hands on Corsair's latest RAM flagship would have been next to impossible, but this product is now readily available if you're willing to pay the DDR5 premium. While expensive, Corsair has a lot to offer, so it's a good choice if you're building a monster gaming PC. Push the limits of your system like never before with DDR5 memory, unlocking even faster frequencies, greater capacities, and better performance with the Corsair Dominator Platinum DDR5. The last product on our list is the Teamgroup T-Force Delta RGB DDR5. The Teamgroup joins the fray with a revamp of one of its beloved memory lines. The newest T-Force Delta DIMMs distinguish themselves with elegant looks and the fastest XMP speed available to date, provided you can find some and are willing to pay the asking price. It's the best DDR5 RAM for gaming bar with the G.Skills model. Considering the times, it's wisest to get whichever you can grab and worry about aesthetics later. Aesthetics are an aspect of the Delta RGB you shouldn't worry about though. The sticks are tall and armored with an expansive heat spreader. They're very much in line with their DDR4 predecessor, with subtle changes like a few more cutouts and a slightly more visible lighting diffuser. The Teamgroup's RAM is 4mm taller than G.Skills, but most coolers are sure to still fit. The diffuser reaches past the heat spreader's endpoints, while an R-shaped cutout adds more visual interest. No dedicated RGB management supports this kit. On the other hand, compatibility with major board manufacturers and their Alder Lake Mobos is complete. Its out-of-the-box showing is already great as the Delta RGB comes in at a strong 6400 MHz. You can tweak these numbers further, adding 200 MHz to the clock speed while keeping the timing as they were. That may lead to a handful of points more in artificial testing. Gaming might see an improvement of literally 1 frame per second or less, so risking stability is debatable, especially when you're already running games on ultra and triple digits at 1080 pixel.